Hello and welcome to Wonder Girl Tarot. This is your reading for the week of June 8th through the 14th, 2020. It's a general reading for anyone who feels called to watch the video, as well as for my returning viewers and subscribers. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome, and welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I'm so glad that you're here. If you enjoy the video, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to be notified when I post videos, you can click the little notification bell on my channel page. I have shuffled the deck and drawn 3 cards. The first is going to represent Monday and Tuesday, the second Wednesday and Thursday, and the third Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But these may be energies that come and go throughout the week and aren't restricted to those particular days. I've also drawn a card from the Wildwood Tarot, which I'm going to use as an oracle, and I'll read the messages that are in the book as well. Before I begin the reading, I always read a poem. This week I have 2 short ones. The first is by Hafiz, translated by Daniel Ladinsky, and it's called That Moon Language. Admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, "Love me." Of course, you do not say this out loud, otherwise someone would call the cops. Still though, think about this great pull in us to connect. Why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye, that is always saying with that sweet moon language what every other eye in the world is dying to hear? And the second poem is by William Carlos Williams, and it's called This Is Just to Say. I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox, and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet and so cold. So that second poem is in honor of my sister, who has a birthday this week, and introduced me to that poem. And actually, the 2 poems make me think of her, because I remember when we were children, she was one of those kids who was always making friends everywhere she went, with the people on the next blanket at the beach and so on. And I once asked her, because I was much more shy when we were older, I asked her how she had so much courage to make friends. And she said, "Oh, well, all of those people that you're so embarrassed of, or you're so shy, you just imagine that they're really shy and awkward themselves, and then you try and make them feel at home." So I thought that was great advice, and that first poem I read makes me think of that often we can feel like this longing to be loved, or to be seen in a good light, and to be accepted, or for people to think that we're cool or something. But actually, like, that sense of connection can come from being the one who loves, or the one who makes people feel at home. So I don't know if that will show up in the cards, but sometimes the poem and the cards are connected. But I'll turn them over now. So for Monday and Tuesday, we have the 10 of Wands. For Wednesday and Thursday, the 4 of Wands. And for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have Temperance. And under the deck, let's see, the Strength card. So it does seem to be a week that has a lot to do with passion and creativity and kind of quite strong feelings. Monday and Tuesday, you may begin the week feeling quite burdened. This could be that you're coming to the end of a particular project. So, for example, you could have been in school and you're getting ready to graduate, but you still have to write those final papers. You still have a bunch of work, and it's crunch time. You've got to somehow get it all finished, and you're feeling a bit weighed down by that. It could be that you've been working very hard. Every time somebody asks you to do something, you agree, and it's just another wand, like another burden that's added to what you're carrying, and it's beginning to feel like it's a little bit much. This can also be like if you have a creative project that you've been doing, well, it's something you've been putting a lot of work into, and it may be something that will soon become really beautiful or successful or, reach its completion. But right now you're still in the final stages of making it what it's going to become. So you're not yet seeing the rewards for the efforts that you've been putting in. The Ten of Wands can also represent if you have some kind of unbalanced or unhealthy habit or addiction or something like that. There's something that you've been repeating over and over again that's weighing on you, and it's just getting heavier and heavier, and you're feeling like you're reaching that breaking point, like you need to end the cycle. And it can also be like, because wands represent passion and creativity, it could be that there's something that you really love, that you really want to do, and your love for that thing, your passion for that thing has been growing and growing and growing, so that the impetus is becoming stronger than the things that have been constraining you. Like it's becoming less and less possible to hold back or to stop. You need to make the changes that you're longing for. And likewise, that could be like a passion for a particular person. Like maybe you've been missing somebody more and more and more, and it's growing and growing and growing, and it's going to have to burst, and you'll have to take action, something like that. Which makes sense, because we just had a full moon eclipse that, some feelings can be running high inside of us. So that's how you begin the week. But it seems like you're not going to have to deal with those burdens for too much longer, because right in the middle of the week we have the Four of Wands. So this is the card of celebration. It's also the energy of passion and creativity. Oh my gosh, this little bug is like landing. Okay. I don't know what bugs symbolize, but maybe you do. Anyways, I don't know if you could see that little bug on my hand, but moving on. We have Four of Wands. It can be parties and celebrations, things like graduations, weddings, getting together with friends. It's often a card that people say represents soulmates. So like the people who you feel are your kindred spirits. It could be, it could be somebody that you're in love with. But it can also, likewise, it can be your friends and the people that you feel that you belong to and who belong to you in the freest sense. It's not a card about love in a kind of like dusty bound dark way. It's a card about freedom and celebration and joy, and you can see the yellow background. Yellow represents the solar plexus chakra, so it's all about personal strength and power and happiness. So the middle of the week may see some kind of the celebration of some kind of completion. Maybe you begin that thing that you've been longing to begin, or you finish your work and this is the graduation celebration. Or like if the Four of Wands represents a wedding, the Ten of Wands could be like all of those preparations and plans. They say that it's always such a pain, and so like so much work to pull off a big celebration like that. I don't know how many people are having big celebrations now with social distancing, but I suppose it's possible. Anyways, this can also be an internal feeling of happiness and joy and feeling connected. So it could be that you've been burdened by a longing for other people's love and approval, and you begin instead to love and approve of other people and of yourself, and that's the sense of connection and freedom that you get. And that makes sense with the Temperance card that we have at the end of the week. You know, last week we got the Four of Wands in the reverse, and now it's in the upright. And last week we also got Temperance. So, you know, here this angel shows up again. And I'm noticing the yellow irises that are on the side here. And they're that same yellow. That's the background of the Four of Wands. And Temperance is a card that talks about alchemy. So like the medieval practice of transforming lead into gold. It's like you're taking your burdens and the things that have weighed you down and the things that have frustrated you and any kind of like building pressure that you have, and you're transforming that into something that's light and joyful and more balanced. And I'm also just noticing in this Temperance card right now, the path that leads off towards those mountains. It looks like it may be a moon in the background too, that's rising behind the mountains. So maybe there's some kind of new path that's becoming clear to you, some way to move forward that's different and better than what you've been doing. And of course, we have the Strength card under the deck. This is a card that talks about courage. It's a card of Leo. You know, there could be somebody who's the astrological sign of Leo in your life, but it's a card about subduing your fears, subduing the beast within, through gentleness and kindness and love. So like that's why there's this beautiful lady here, and she's got her hands. Usually it's like she's got a hand inside the lion's mouth. Here she's just holding its mouth, but it's like this lion has been tamed by her kindness. So it's about having strength and courage through gentleness. And I'm noticing that there's this yellow background as well. So I think like if you have some kind of difficult pattern or something that's been weighing you down, you're going to be able to subdue it through gentleness and patience and kindness, rather than through like strong arming it kind of. And similarly, if you have a lot of things you need to accomplish, just having a more patient and gentle approach with yourself to the things that you need to do and to your responsibilities is going to allow you to get through them to this sense of celebration and transformation. And for the advice card, we have the Knight of Bows, which is the Knight of Wands in traditional tarot. So this is somebody who goes off on an adventure. You know, maybe you're embarking on a new adventure. Somebody who loves to learn, who's really curious and fiery. It's like you've got a lot of fiery energy going on. And actually the eclipse that we just had was in the sign of Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. So maybe there's been a lot of like fire and oomph and energy that's just been building up in you, and you're going to be able to break free and go on this new adventure. I'm just going to look at the book quickly and see what they say about the Knight of Wands. I actually saw a fox the other day, so maybe there's some kind of, if any of you know about what spirit animals mean, it could have something to do with that. So the qualities of cunning and stalking, combined with great alertness and curiosity, make the fox a stealthy night hunter. Often seen at dawn, the fox retains a beguiling mixture of wisdom and playfulness. Determination leads you to success, but sometimes at personal cost. Your life may change or enter a different path at any moment. Native wit and cleverness guide your steps towards fulfillment, as does your gift of anticipating the future. So it seems like you're beginning to embark on some new path, some important change is beginning, and I'm noticing what they said about playfulness and wit. And so in addition to having patience and stuff, you may need to cultivate some kind of sense of fun, which also seems to go with like the yellow background and the lightness of the Four of Wands. And that is, if you can find a way to have a sense of humor or enjoyment and curiosity, that's going to lighten your load a lot and make it easier to accomplish what you need to accomplish. And it said, success may come at some personal cost. And I'm wondering if sometimes you can, you know how I was saying that the Ten of Wands can be like a bad habit or an addiction or something, and it can be like, an addiction to worry or an addiction to too much hard work, to always saying yes to things that are asked of you, or maybe even to looking at life in a certain way, like feeling very burdened or oppressed or pessimistic or something like that. So it could even be that the success that you crave and your happiness comes at the cost of this sense of burden. And it seems strange that you would be attached to feeling tired or worn out or to things that make you feel bad. But I think that that's often the case because like we sometimes value familiarity over something like happiness or success. So it could be that the cost is actually letting go of the things that have burdened you. And I hope that that's the case. I hope this is a really celebratory and joyful week for you. And thank you so much for watching. Take very good care and be well. I will be back next Sunday with a video just like this. Bye-bye.